Welcome back, guys. So lots of interesting updates for this video. And to start with, let me let you know that Ahmed Musa has now debunked all rumors that have stated that he has resigned from the national team or from football in general. Of course, it's been a really long time since we've seen Ahmed Musa play in the Nigerian Super Eagles shirt. I think far back as late 2021 was when we saw him play last in the World Cup qualifying games. And in recent games, we've not really seen him show up. In fact, the last two competitive games that we played against South Africa and Benin in World Cup qualifying games, Ahmed Musa was not invited. Again, before those games in the last Nations Cup, he was with the team, but he didn't make appearance for all of the 7 games, up until the final. So for that reason, recently there's been some rumors among Nigeria's football community that Ahmed Musa might in fact have resigned. But the man has now come out to address, this rumor, and he has now said that he hasn't resigned, that he only took a short break from the game, that he is not retiring at this moment. Even aside from the national team and into club football, Ahmed Musa hasn't really been active as much, because the last time we saw him play in club football, he actually played for the Turkish side Sivasspor, and that was back in February, and his contract actually expired. I think he terminated the contract with mutual understanding with the club, and since then he has not joined any club up to this moment. So he hasn't really been in real footballing action for a really long time, which of course is why I can understand why Nigerians felt that he had resigned, and coupled with the fact that he has been doing some sort of activities, charity games, events, and all of that far there in the north, where it feels like he's not only dedicated his time to reaching out to the poor rural areas in the north and doing outreaches, doing aids, and helping these localities with opportunities, and of course charity competitions and events. But this man is still a legend, and he has said it himself from his mouth that he has not retired from the national team, that he only took a short break, and that he's definitely going to be back. Ahmed Musa is definitely a top legend in the Nigerian football, and we've seen that with loads of trophies and accolades that he's won across Europe. He played in Russia, Turkey, England, Netherlands, Saudi Arabia, and he has won a lot. He won with CSK Moscow, won with Al Nassr of Saudi Arabia, won the Nations Cup 2013, won a whole lot of trophies. So the man has definitely achieved a lot, and if he says that he is still sticking around for a short time, then obviously he's more than welcome to be in the team. And the next cheat is definitely something that I'd hate to see, because it involves a battle of words between two of our Nigerian Super Eagles legends, Sunday Olise and John Mikel Obi. And their exchange of word has been going on for a really long time, but I've not covered that on this channel. This is actually the first time I'm talking about it. I choose to ignore these kinds of negativity surrounding our Nigerian Super Eagles and the team, because sometimes not all of them are to be publicized, because it's such a shame, when we have two legends fighting who are supposed to be united in support and working together towards helping the Nigerian Super Eagles, helping football in Nigeria as a whole. So you might want to ask, how did this misunderstanding come between Sunday Olise and Mikel Obi? And it all started back when Mikel Obi offered an interview, and he completely floored Sunday Olise when he said that Sunday Olise is not, or was not, a good manager back then in 2015 when he was appointed the head coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles, that he was a very terrible manager. That he absolutely had no idea what he was doing as a manager. But Mikel Obi also said that he respects Sunday Olise as a player, that he was a top player during his playing days, but for manager, or being a manager, that he is a complete zero. And Mikel in fact called him the worst coach that he has had in his career. Mikel said in 2015 when they had a really good team, everything was going well for them, and then Sunday Olise came along as a coach. But when he came on, the first thing that he did was to completely disorganize the team by attacking the senior players. Then it was Mikel Obi, Vincent Yama, and Elderson Echejile. According to what Mikel said, he said that he completely disgrace them, attack them, particularly with Vincent Inyama, that the first day he entered the dressing room, he had an issue with Inyama and he being Mikel and then Echejile. And Inyama, stood up and tried to, call him to order that there were an organized group before he came along. And, he started exchanging word with Olise, but Olise had to walk him out. And Inyama obviously felt disrespected and left. And that was it. He never came back. Sunday Olise gave a recent reply regarding what Mikel said, last year. And his reply right now is that NFF actually were the ones that gave him the authority to disembark these three players, as Mikel Obi, Inyama, and Echejile. He said NFF wanted him to do away with them because they said that these guys are now redundant for the team, that he should, put them out of the team. This is what Sunday Olise is saying. And then Sunday Olise could not resist the urge to take a dig at Mikel Obi, and he said that obviously his issue with Mikel Obi started right from when he made a trip to London and he booked a meeting with for himself, Mikel Obi, and Victor Moses. Then these two players were still playing for Chelsea, but Mikel completely snubbed him, didn't show up for the meeting. Only Victor Moses showed up, and that was where the disrespect started. He calls Mikel Obi. He says Mikel is sick. This is unbelievable, but this is how low these two legends have gone on themselves. And then he says that Mikel Obi is proud and egotistic and completely snubbed him, didn't pick his call, didn't answer his messages and all of that. But that's not everything, because the exchange of words still continues to erupt every single day. In the news you find it, especially coming from Sunday Olise, who has now decided to start speaking out. Recently he has been speaking out a lot about not only his issue with Mikel Obi and the senior team, boys back then when he was coach, but also about NFF and the current team. At this point, it feels like a complete beef between these two ex-internationals, with Sunday Olise demanding more respect from John Mikel Obi, the way he talks about him out there in press and in his platforms where he does punditry works and podcasts and all of that. But moving on, guys, let me let you know that Chidera Ejuke has now had his first training with Sevilla. He's now completed a successful first training with Sevilla ahead of their new season. They've started their preseason recently, and then he took part in the training for that one, and it was all joy for him. Of course, it's a move that he really cherishes, because it now brings him into the spotlights and in a good position to actually start performing and get a more consistent call up to the national team. But that is the update for this video. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and share the video. React to any of the stories that you like in this video. Take care of yourselves. God bless you, and stay tuned to the channel.